What's going on, everybody, and welcome back for a new video. On the right side of the screen right now is what we are going to be doing today. So if you come back to this video sometime later, you will quickly be able to skip to the part you already know. But the first part we're gonna go to is going up and reverse with a fusion only in one shot, in one block, as we talked about before. And this is the time where we're gonna do that. So probably all of you have already tried to do this. So put everything here on 0 and put this one here on a full tick. And of course that will change it from the slap was coming out in the second power instead of the first. Now if you did that right and you will fire right now, you will see that it will probably not work. Pretty sure we can just quickly check that out real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and disable most of this, so we don't want to have the sand at all. There we go. Perfect. Now that we're only going to use this, let's go ahead and take the wet sand out as well. That's somewhere around there. Perfect. Now we have no sand whatsoever. So if you were to fire a shot like this, you'll see that it will probably not work. It will just boom, boom, boom. Nothing is really going to work. Now, what you need to do is that you need to move this ladder one back. So if you move this one back, you'll see that the velocity from the TNT and the angle from the TNT is entirely different, and that will actually be able to work out perfectly, and you'll be able to reverse scatter in a 1x1 block, as you see right here. So you can of course go all the way up, and of course you can disable the scatter as you see the TNT down there. If you don't want that, it's fairly simple. Just take out the scatter right here, and you will see that it will work properly. And again, remember that you have to load up your sand compression. There we go. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and fire one more time and just quickly see that it does work all the way up. Now pretty sure this is the 120. Let me check. 120. Yeah, and of course it goes 120 blocks up. So you should be fine. Now, if you ever meet obsidian on your way up, if you're actually going through somewhere where there is a water layer in between like this, and then of course water, and those water layers extends out to a wall, and the obsidian wall. Let's go ahead and take obsidian here, and this right here is of course the obsidian wall, the outer shell, and this right here is the base, and then we're of course gonna have whatever they have right here, crafting table, spawners, whatever. Now if you want to go through this and if you want to reverse off this right here, then you might be able to find yourself in a position where you will not be able to go all the way up, meaning that it will only go through this one and it will not go through this obby right here, because there's just enough not slap boss, and then the water is going to flow out and it's going to be very annoying. So the way you can change that is of course, let me get rid of that. And what is this even? What is this for? Oh, never mind. All right, let's block it off. So the way you can filter that is that you have enough slab burst to be able to go to RB and maybe two places of RB. Right here, this is more than enough. So it's just quickly a notice for you guys that doesn't want to run with a big slab burst. You just need to increase the slab burst here if you want to go through more than one RB at a time. And it of course counts if you want to reverse scatter off and an obby wall or something. Just have the slap boss necessary and you're good to go. But again, I'm going to go over quickly what I did here. Now this one here, put everything back to normal. This is what it was before, meaning that 2 ticks on this one, 3 ticks on this one, and that is of course a full repeater in itself. So this is a full repeater in itself if you don't count the repeater itself as well. This one over here has no tick, so that's just a no tick repeater right there. So basically what I did was that I changed this to 0 and changed this to full, just quickly rotated them. And that will of course, as I said earlier, it's going to bring out the slap burst in the second shot where the hammer should be, and that will kind of shift place. So the way it kind of works is that if you go ahead and take some sand, and we're gonna go ahead and take TNT. So the way it works is that the first power, as you see, it takes twice. The way it works is first the sand and the slap boss come out in the first shot. Wait, I can't place TNT. You're what, mate? Alright, I'm gonna use this one here as TNT. So the first thing is coming out, of course, the sand and the slap boss, and then the second power is the hammer, meaning that it will have a little delay between those two, so this will actually fall a bit before the hammer comes in and stack it all up. Now what we did was we quickly just changed the position, so meaning that this first the hammer comes with the sand and then the slab burst, so when the hammer explodes because of the timings, it will actually fire up the slab burst and it works like that. So that was basically how you reverse scattered in 1 by 1. Just go ahead and move this ladder one back so it's right here. The second thing is of course changing the timing, put this in 0, put this in 0, and put this in a full tick. Now that will reverse scatter whenever you need to do that. And that is basically how we do that. Now I did mention how to do it differently as well, just to change some ticks and just do it with trapdoors, but that's the basic of all candles, so we don't need to go over that. That was how you reverse scattered in a 1 by 1 block. Let's go ahead and go to the next one, that is downward hybrids. Now the easiest way to downward hybrids with this cannon here is that if you just use one single TNT into the sand compression, I'm just going to do it like this because we already know this one only pulses one time, so we can add this as many times as we want, as many layers we want to go to. Now what you want to do is that you want to add a little bit of timings for your slab boss, and there's a little space right here I decided so you can do that. Put that on a full tick, and now when you go ahead and disable the wet sand, which you can do right here, this was how it was. And now if you don't want the wet sand in, you can just do it like that. Now if you want to go ahead and continue now, this one right here was enabled, don't worry, it doesn't really matter if it's enabled or not enabled, but all you need is one sand in the sand compression and of course a full repeater onto the slab burst, and whenever you fire you'll see that you'll be able to shoot down a shot and it will actually hybrid to all the way down to bedrock basically, so you don't need to worry about that. Oh, does looks like we have a problem here. I didn't load up the sand compression. Now if you want to load up the sand compression, let's go ahead and quickly do that right here. That will probably load it up, I assume, or maybe not. Nope, that didn't even load up. Alright, okay, let's do it a little bit closer then so we can actually see something. That's probably right here. That's good. And that again, that is Psycho. You have to clean up, or you have to make sure that you load everything, or else it won't work. There we go, perfect. Now let's go ahead and make sure that we can do this. There we go. Let's go ahead and make sure we load it up. This should load it up. Here we go. Perfect. Now I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure it went through 2, or maybe just only 1. But all right. Anyways, let's go ahead and shoot one more time and just make sure that we load this up here so it works. And look at it. And we should go one down. There we go. Okay, so it takes one at a time, and that makes perfectly sense. I didn't know why I said 2. But that is how you downward hybrids. It's very useful when you're inside a base and you actually want to go down into the base. Now you can downward hybrids in many ways. You can either do it on a dry backboard, or you can do it on a or you can do it on a watered. Now all you need to do to change those two things up is just adding delay. So instead of having a repeater and no ticks right here on both sides, you can add 3 repeaters and full ticks, and then you don't need to wait. Then you don't need a water backboard. You can simply do it off a dry backboard, which is pretty cool, I guess. Now that is just a little bit of how you downward hybrids. Next thing is going to be one-shotting obsidian. That's going to come up here in a second. Let's go ahead and go see the next shot. There you go, perfect, and it works perfectly. Now let's go ahead and move over to obsidian one-shotting. Now, if you want to one-shot obsidian, you have to remember that you can't use this scatter down here while you're using this one up here. So if you ever wonder what this right here is, this is basically an application for whenever you need to one-shot obby, and it could be a patch, it could be a pill, it could be something inside the base that's watered, or something you don't want to clip on or don't want to shoot 2 shots. Of course, you can't clip with a fusion, so you just have to shoot twice in this case, but this is an application that you can do on all cannons. So just make sure to use that. Now go ahead and disable this scatter over here. Go ahead and put up glowstone like this. Go ahead and put redstone on top of it. Go ahead and make sure that the Psycho sand compression here is loaded. This is only Psycho, so don't worry about that. And there we go, perfect, let's shoot, and that looks like a perfect shot as well. And now all we have to do is just see that everything one-shots, and it should be right there. And of course, it doesn't make the greatest haul, it's nothing too fancy, but it makes sure that you want clip, and it makes sure that you do it in one shot. So sometimes that is a problem. And of course, there's sand in the right here because we didn't load the cannon. Anyways, that is Psycho, don't worry about that. But as you see, it works perfectly. Now, the next thing we're going to go through is, of course, reverse scattering without a water backboard. So hang in there and give me a second. So if you want to reverse scatter off a dry backboard, it could be a chest, it could be just about anything as long as it's dry. Or it doesn't even have to be dry, but this right here is a tool for dry. So if you want to go over something that's dry, what you need to do is you want to go ahead and make the ladder right next to the TNT ladder like this. It was like that before. You want to have it like that. After that, you need to make sure you change these both to 0 and put this on a full tick. Then after you're done with that, go ahead and get rid of your scatter. You don't need that. And after that, you want to make sure that you put 2 full repeaters on full tick right here, meaning that you're going to delay your hammer a lot, and that way it will actually work. So let's go ahead and load up the cannon while we shoot, and you should see that you'll be able to reverse scatter off a dry backboard because of the TNT actually fall. And you know, that didn't even work. So what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I did nothing wrong, did I? No, I did nothing wrong. I just didn't load it up properly, I guess. Come on. Perfect, great, and we still have our backboard right here, as you see. If we go ahead and do that, perfect. Now, if you want to go ahead and do this, you can do it as many times as you want. Since your block is right here, you're not getting rid of it by going up, and you can go ahead and you can keep doing this for as long as you want, really. And it is very useful for when you're inside bases, when you really don't have any water in line of your cannon. You can use this in a way that it's gonna, as you see, blow up down here instead of right here instead of up here, so it's not gonna get rid of it. Now that this technique works as long as there is space down here. As long as there's space to fall down, it will work fine. But if you somehow is gonna have a layer, maybe a little bit higher up, like right here, you're not gonna be able to do this. So be aware that this right here is only possible if you have free room down below here to actually let the TNT fall. There is a way to actually get rid of this if it actually has a wall right here. What you can do is you can maybe single stack a few times like this, and then make TNT blow up here. Sometimes it is only gonna get rid of maybe let me see, maybe this right here. This is the sand, and it's gonna get rid of this right here, and then you will be able to keep your backboard. But the chances of it actually happening is too small. So just use this technique if there's free room down here so you can actually shoot up. But that was how you reverse scattered on a dry backboard. And I think that will be just about it for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember to like this video here. And as always, guys, remember to comment down below if you have any questions, suggestions, whatsoever. And as always, guys, remember to subscribe to my channel. My name is Dexter, and I'm out.